Hello Pioneer View and welcome to this episode of JAPcast. In this series we discussed the upcoming game called Hell Let Loose. We are native Dutch speakers, so forgive our accent, but we'll be speaking English for your entertainment.
So the subject of this video, we will go over the questions and answers of the developers. They recently posted on the website, and we are giving some likes and some dislikes, and I would like to start with our very first like. Marnix, your first like, what is it?
My first like is that the that the commander role is not OP as as we hear that it is, as we think that it is. It's balanced. So yeah, what are your thoughts about it?
I think it's great that a good commander should be able to win games, but a bad commander should also be able not to lose games instantly. And when you have that balance, I think you're in the right spot.
Yeah, it is a nice question that they have in the Q&A where or whether the commander has the power to basically ruin the game by trolling or just by simply not being a good commander. And if I read it correctly, they were talking about a choice-based mechanism, so that the commander can have preferences which are not necessarily decisive to win a game, but they definitely can be helpful.
Okay, great. Dev, what's your like?
My like is that there will be no crosshairs in the game.
Why?
Because I think it's, first place, more realistic, that you have to aim down sight. And also think that crosshairs in other games have proven to be a little bit OP outside of very long range encounters.
Okay. Because, yeah, it's something different, but my like is that there are no health bars. I think health bars overall are a bit meh. Are you on 70 or 80%? It's now like a phase where you're just like
but
bleeding or
it's
critically
the same
wounded.
as Call of Duty. By Call of Duty, we have no health bar either.
You have the visual cues on screen.
Yeah, but
Yes, but this game you need a medic. By Call of Duty, you heal.
Yeah, that's a
instantly,
little bit
from yourself, but
that's
there's no health bar.
Yeah, and since
Yes.
and since neither the health bar or the crosshair is there, it both gives a realistic feel, because you don't see a health bar of how much health points you're having right now in life.
Really?
And I don't really, and I don't see any crosshair anyway in my life. But I don't see any crosshairs when I'm in battle. So why should you see it when you're actually playing a realistic game?
Will be realistic than Call of Duty. When you hit in the arm, then you are bleeding from the arm, and maybe your aim is a bit worse than when you have have all health.
Mm-hmm.
And when you
that's
hit
probably
in the
something we're gonna have to find out how they exactly did it.
Yeah, but bleeding between the arm or between the leg, when you are bleeding or hit in the arm, I can understand that your aiming should be less, or when you are shot in the leg, that your movement should be less. But I think it's very hard to develop things in that way. But I think it's great that when you're in the face of the condition you are bleeding and you have a medic there who can patch you up, then you come back to the phase, hey, I'm fine again.
Yeah, but what if you hit in the chest or in the belly, then you can maybe you cannot crouch or lie on the ground. Maybe that's your yeah.
Yeah, we don't know exactly how that's going to find out, but it's very interesting to see what we're going to see.
Okay, we have now 3 of our 4 likes, but let's go to our first dislike. Dev, your dislike?
My dislike is that they basically gambling on the fact that people are gonna ride supply stores all over the map to help people. I think it's really naive to gamble on that fact that people will be doing that. Because a lot of people have the intention, the need to be the hero in video games.
But you have 50 people.
But I think
It's
this
still-
is a fun thing to do. When
Maybe,
I'm playing
but-
alone, I think I like this role.
We don't know if it's gonna be fun. Maybe it's gonna be boring. Maybe it's gonna be very fun.
Yeah, but
But
I think
and
it's fun. My opinion,
My thing
it's
is,
fun.
it's really naive to think that always 1 or 2 people are going to do it.
Okay, yeah, I
And what
can
about-
see that. But I think if 50 people, that always 1 or 2 players want to do that role. But they need to
Probability is
give
very big.
that role a weapon so he can defend the truck. That makes it something that makes it more interesting. When you're driving and then there's a roadblock, then you can defend yourself. If you can only drive, put stuff out and drive back, yeah, then I'm
No, but even
agree with you.
imagine when we are being a squad and one of us is being a support role. I guess the support role is the one who travels around with the supply truck.
Yeah, the resupply role.
The resupply role.
Not the support.
Can you give your own squad the advantage by just supplying your own squad primarily, and then also supply other squads at different parts of the front?
I don't
What
know.
about that?
I think like other roles, when you play that role, you need to act like that you what you
Sure.
play.
Sure, but
Because when you're a sniper and you're going to shoot everyone,
Mhm.
that's not your role in this game. When you're medic and you just go
Running about
running
shooting.
about
and,
shooting with your pistol, I think your medic has a pistol, then you're not playing your role.
Yeah,
but as developer, it is very hard to kind of guarantee that people take the role serious, and thus give them the liberty to, choose whether you do or don't play a role, and then choose to play your role as serious as possible. But at the same time, you're playing a game, so you have a need to,
Okay,
sometimes fool around. But
imagine
that's
this:
not something
you're
want
playing
to
with
see.
friends,
Sure.
and you're in the field,
Mhm.
and one of your friends play the support truck role to
Mhm.
supply other teams. You're in a heavy battle, and the supply truck comes. Your whole position is blown away because the truck is big,
Yeah.
it's massive. You don't want that. I think you don't want that.
Mhm.
So you need to sit somewhere where it is safe, where there's no enemies around you, to get resupplied.
but
Mhm.
but
But why do you want to get resupplied all the time?
Yeah,
And
but that's exactly my point. Should you limit the possibilities you have in a role just to make sure that people take their role serious, or should you give them the liberty but then risk that they do not take their role serious and blow people's cover away or secret hideout or whatever?
but for me, the whole resupply role stands or falls with how much ammo or how much bandages or how much supply you actually get when you spawn. And if you start with enough ammunition to go into a battle and to drag forward into the front line and maybe capture another point and maybe hold another point, and maybe if you kill someone that you can pick up some ammunition and that ammunition stays on the ground, and that you can develop your ammunition or your medic supplies or whatever supplies into the game on, then I think the resupply role is less and less interesting than
yeah, but I think if they want to do it accurately and hold it realistically, then tanks have a limited supply too. In most games, tanks can shoot how much bullets they want, how much how much bombs they want to shoot, they shoot.
Just reload.
Just reload. But I think it's realistic that you have an ammunition supply truck and an ammunition supply truck for tanks.
Yes, but we're gonna have to see that, I think, in the game, how the developers are gonna do it. But
Yes.
Don, your dislike is the respawn. Can you explain why?
Yeah, as far as I read the Q&A, I cannot find that there is a decent punishment for players that are respawning over and over again. And I really would love to see that there is a respawn system when you have okay, there is room for 10 snipers or there is room for 5 snipers, and I see that the role needs or that role respawning costs more manpower. But when you have enough of that specific role, I think the role should be locked, and I think that's something that the commander should be able to do, just to not always give a player the role that he wants to play, and stick with simple roles who do not cost a lot of manpower and who are worthy of the respawn. And when you want to play again and again and again and over again the sniper or a specific role you super like, then you should wait until that role comes available again. And that's something I haven't read in the Q&A yet. So that's my dislike.
Okay.
But maybe let's go to the last like, and that's Schiet.
Yeah, my like is that when you're reading the Q&A, you can really see that the developers are rationally thinking about balancing it. We've already discussed the commander role, because being the commander, giving instructions, it can be a very decisive role in any game, but they still consider ways to how do you say, not buffing, but how do you call it? Whenever a role is overpowered, you nerve it.
Yes.
That there are certain nerves that the commander that are applied to the commander that balance the game more. And you also see this with the manpower. You can also see it with any other kind of credits that you can have as a team. They are mentioning almost every aspect you can have in a video game, and it is nice to read how they are considering every aspect, keeping the realism in mind, but still ensuring a fun game.
I think even for the developers here, they need real statistics from within the game, from within a game that's played between 50 against 50 random people or people who subscribed for the early alpha, and then just see how it goes and work from that point on.
Yeah, but that's logic, I think. That's the alpha for, right?
Yeah, let's go to the alpha, and you had a dislike, Marnie, about the alpha.
Yeah, I hope there will be trucks in the alpha, but yeah, there are no trucks. Like I read in the of the devs. Yeah, I think it is.
Wasted opportunity, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand that they want to see how the infantry only plays out, so the game will be very basic. Yeah, I see it maybe as a team deathmatch. Capture the flag, capture a point in this case, and no vehicles, no supplies. So when you play the alpha and you play the early access, then there's a huge difference of a game. I think we in the alpha, you just get a basic game, rifles, machine guns only. You can shoot, you can take a point, go back, and if that works, the early access gives you.
I think the alpha is just some things for the developers to test, to see some things, and I think that without vehicles they even have the opportunity to go with a 2K map and not with the full 4K map.
Yeah, but
because you don't have the vehicles, and then you can just release or just take a smaller portion of the map.
What I meant is the alpha is just just a flinch of what the game will be.
Yeah,
it's not a full game, so it is hell let loose, but yeah, just a flinch.
It's maybe
not
just
complete.
let loose, but not just ready hell let loose.
it's too bad they don't have the vehicles.
Yeah,
Because because eventually there will be vehicles, and
Yeah, but
they will influence the way the game is played.
Yeah,
So
but-
if you're
but
going to
I
learn
don't-
from
I
the
don't want to
alpha,
have all the vehicles, but they say some vehicles are ready. Why not put them in?
Okay, let's keep it to there. Why not put them in? We see you in the next video of JAPcast. Hope to see you then. Like if you like, dislike, or give and leave your comments down below.